Yep, it's me again. I could have sworn that I tested my microphone between this current video and the last one where I had the issues, and it worked perfectly fine. I promise you that. The thing is, though, when I went to go view this footage, this time not even static with little bits of commentary. It was complete silence. I have no clue, absolutely no clue what happened. But I have yet another microphone on the way, so hopefully we're gonna figure this out. Um, so this race format that we're doing tonight, I think we had about 19 or 20 people separated into two qualifying heats. We were doing this course where we had to take Joker laps. Joker laps, if you're unfamiliar, is a format from like stadium rally racing and probably some other racing formats, but that's where I know it from, where you are allowed to take a shortcut on the course. So the shortcut for this one is we would go straight right there instead of taking this double hairpin thing, which was the normal course. For each race, we got to take two Joker laps, at least for the first two qualifying races. It's gonna get a little trickier when we get to the feature race. That's good. There's a fun little twist coming up on that one. So we get to take two Joker laps. I'm a big fan of Joker laps, especially a big problem that I seem to have with most indoor electric go-kart courses. It can be quite hard to pass people. Obviously, a lot of times they're working with some kind of constrained space. You know, they try to make big lanes, but even, these lanes are pretty reasonably sized, but unless you're going to try to, like, push your way through, a lot of the times there may only be, like, one or maybe even two places that you can pass, like, somewhat normally. So big fan of Joker laps. It helps you get around people if there's someone slow. If you happen to be faster, you take a chance. You take your shortcut lap early. Maybe you can get enough clear space to get away from these people. And that's one thing you're going to hear me talk about many times, is the biggest key to winning these races is having clear space in front of you. So if you get stuck behind someone who is slow, you want to take your Joker. And with that said, the opposite is also true, where if you're slow and you think someone's faster behind you, you should take your Jokers to strategically stay in front of people so that you have a greater chance of winning these races. So between the previous challenge night and this one, we actually had to skip, I think, a couple of them. They rescheduled on us once because there was a big corporate event that they had. And they said, all right, come back next week. We'll do it next week. They canceled again on us for another corporate event. And can you believe the nerve of them? They wanted to have an event of like 100 plus people instead of having, 19 random, go-kart racers. Who can understand this decision making to make a lot more money over what they did with us? It's unbelievable. Anyways, so first race is coming to an end. I'm pretty sure I started pretty far in the back in this race, and we just took it home. I was so fast, they completely missed giving me the checkered flag, so that's pretty funny. Qualifying race 2. I did start far in the back because we reversed the order of the starting position for the second qualifying race. So since I'm starting second here, that means I must have started like in the back row on the previous one. Now, one thing I've probably complained about in the past is the outside. You do not want to be there, especially on like race start. I think that third place is actually a better starting position than second. And sometimes even fifth place can be a better starting position than second, which is kind of crazy. I would absolutely love to do like choose your own spot when we start. Like, we've done it in the past a couple of times. I know it can be a little confusing, and maybe that's something we could just eventually do for like a feature race where like You hit a spot on the track with like a cone, and you say you choose, do you want to start on the inside or outside right now? And then you kind of fill in after that point. Because if I got like second, if I qualified second, there's a lot of times that I would actually rather start third. So I'd love for us to incorporate that at some point. But again, it can be kind of confusing. I understand also these events are, there's a lot of people who are beginning to learn how to race at these kind of things. Like I learned how to race at these events. And I probably would have been confused by that thing if we would have started doing that. But yeah, for this race, started second, immediately got passed by the guy who started in third, who is very, very quick. So that was an immediate problem for me. I believe in this race, I'm trying to save my Joker laps for as long as I possibly can. I have clear space in front of me. That's really all I can ask for. Like, as I mentioned before, clear space is the key to winning. So I don't feel like too bad right now. I know I got passed immediately, but like if he ends up not having clear space and I do end up having clear space, it is still possible for me to, catch up and win this race. Now, if he also has clear space the entire race, it's probably going to be a little difficult to win this one. So, we try our best. I think I'm lapping pretty okay in this race. This kart definitely felt like it could win the race. It might have been like slightly down, I can't remember, but I'm pretty much like in no man's land by myself for the majority of this race. So, let's see. When is the white flag coming? It's got to be coming soon, I feel like. It's been so long since we had this race, I actually can't even remember what happens in these races. So, and the way I've been editing lately, I've kind of been... These situations where I don't have my microphone, I'm kind of editing a lot less than I normally would. So, like, the times where I would have, like, the live commentary, I would go over it, like, a few times in my video editor. But these times where I know I'm going to have to do the commentary after the fact, I'm kind of editing, like, a lot less so that there is some kind of surprise factor for me, so I can react to some things that I may have forgot about. So I think I gotta take one there. I realize I'm catching up to the guy in the yellow. I need to take one right there. This guy, I feel like I'm catching up to pretty quickly. And I think I'm deciding at this point, do I try to pass him cleanly? Because I know it's not the last lap. If it was the last lap, they would have waved the white flag, or I'd just try to take the Joker. I think I decided here that I was going to try to pass him cleanly. Guy in yellow gets right back in front of me. He leaves the door open a little bit. I try to take the outside. Doesn't work out entirely. And now I'm stuck behind two people. I feel like any chance that I had to win that race was not. I think I probably wasn't. I probably am not going to win this race anyways. But I think just that half a lap of being stuck behind two people definitely sealed the deal. Yeah, I got beat by God knows how many kart lengths right there. It's okay. We still finished second. We finished first in the first qualifier. Finished second in the second qualifier. That was good enough for me to start pole, which is great. Very interesting concept. So now, the main course is just we're going on the outside of those cones there. We have two different Joker sections. We have one, which is straight ahead right here, which is the shortcut. Now, the other Joker section is when we come around this turn right here, you see a lane on the left for those cones. That is a reverse Joker section. So everyone's forced to take two of those, and that is going to purposefully shuffle you back into the rest of the grid. So, me personally, I was immediately thinking of when I could possibly take this. Like I mentioned before, and I'm gonna mention God knows how many times on any of these Joker lap videos, open space is the key to winning these races. And something like a reverse Joker lap is gonna put you with a bunch of people. Theoretically, you know, ideally what you want to happen, at least my strategy I wanted to happen was I wanted to get as much time away from the pack of people behind me. I wanted to spend as much time out here as I possibly could so that when I did take it, I was hopeful to not come out behind someone. Um, so I was either going to wait as long as I possibly could and probably take it on like the last 2 laps is what I was thinking. Or if I did happen to come up on someone slow, I then would also use that opportunity to take it then, so that I'm not like, spending time behind that person. I can I can take the slow Joker and spend time trying to catch up to said person again. So in this case, the plan is executing very well right now. We've had open space the entire race. Um, so pretty happy about that. We are starting to catch some people in the back here. I'm still going to hold off on this reverse Joker. Someone comes out of the reverse Joker here. And again, this is where I have to make the decision. Am I going to try to pass this person clean? Or is this where I'm going to take one of my Jokers? I got a little lucky that he got a little wide there. I was able to take that inside. And then I still decide for some reason to take the reverse Joker. I feel like I should have just kept going straight because I did make that pass. I think what my brain was going through at the time was I'm not sure if how close he is on my right side. Like I'm not sure if I have the opportunity to push over to the outside there. So I said, you know what? This is as good a time as any. Let me just take one right now. I'm pretty confident that when I took it, I was going to come out with a lot of open space, which is exactly what happened. So that one works out well. So at this point, I still have one reverse Joker, and I still have 2 regular Jokers to go. So we're going to see how traffic dictates my use of these Jokers, or if I can just save them all for the end. Certainly never taking that shortcut Joker at this point until the end. Still holding off on the reverse Joker. I feel like I'm still completely by myself at the moment, which is great. But at this point, you always also wonder, it's like, did some of like the really fast people take their 2 reverses really early and I still have one to go? Like, am I going to come out of one of these reverse Jokers and am I going to be in like a fight for my life situation? There's so much, mystery about these races. I still feel great because I still have my 2 regular Jokers. So, even if I do take the reverse, I still feel pretty good. But again, you never know. So see, now I'm pretty sure, if I recall correctly, I did see on the board that there may have only been 2 or 3 laps left. So I said, we got to take one now. We got to see where we're standing with people. I come out behind him, and I'm going to immediately take this opportunity to take a shortcut Joker. We by the skin of our teeth, we come out of that one ahead. And the move that I made ended up allowing Clay to get ahead of Jackson there. Clay gets into my back in a little bit. At this point, I thought it was Jackson coming for me again, but that was actually Clay doing that. They each still had another shortcut Joker, and this is the last lap. So the question is, am I going to drive well enough that I can come back out in front again? Because it was the slimmest of margins before. It was so slim. So we're going to take our Joker again, and I think we're going to do it. Oh, yes, baby. We did it. We came out maybe like a kart length at best. Maybe been a half a kart length. So that was a super, super tight finish. Really interesting format. Really happy that we got to do that. I'm really happy to see that we just have this continued population of like 19, 20 people every week, and I would love for it to get even bigger. Yeah, happy that the new faces continue to show up. A lot of, people who seem excited to be there. They definitely have some talent, and I'm happy to, help people get better. If you're one of those new people who are showing up, or if you're a person who plans to show up in the future, if you see me, feel free to ask me questions. I'm an open book. I'll tell you basically every secret, unless money is on the line, in which case I'm not going to tell you every secret. But that's the only case, I think, maybe. Don't quote me on that. Anyways, great night. Hope you enjoyed what you watched. If you like what you see, make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. Leave me a comment if you enjoyed what we're doing here. Anyways, well, see you later.